Hello YouTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to the Owlery. Today I am coming at you with another video. I am doing my mid-September wrap-up. Not sure if you noticed, but I am at a different angle than I usually am. My camera broke and I'm having to connect to my computer through my webcam, so the quality is not going to be as great for the time being, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to record and set up where I'm recording and all of those things, so please bear with me while I'm having some technical difficulties. I am super bummed that my camera broke and I just can't figure out how to fix it. Like, the lens won't go in and I can't see anything in the screen. Like, there's nothing, and it won't make any noises. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But alas, the show must go on, so let's go ahead and get on to my September midway wrap-up. The first book that I read in September was Barred 2 by Sylvia Day. This is an adult erotic romance, so it's very 50 Shades of Grey-esque. I know a lot of people are not really liking that type of genre, but I enjoyed every now and again. I really felt like I needed a break from YA, a break from fantasy, so I read a couple of really different things this month, and I actually really enjoyed this one. There are a few moments where the main female character is in a position that I don't think that she should be in, that the main male character put her in. If you've read 50 Shades of Grey or you're familiar with those, the problems with that series, it's very similar to this series. I did like the romance and the relationship. There are just moments where it just feels too abusive, and I'm not really sure how to explain it. I feel like it's the fault of the writer. Like, I don't feel like they meant the story to come out that way, but it is, and it's just really something that adult erotic romance needs to solve soon, because we have this problem with almost every adult erotic romance that I read, unfortunately. But other than that, I did enjoy the book. Then I listened to Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo, I don't know why that's so hard to say, by Amy Schumer, and this is actually really good. It's her autobiographical comedy novel, and I enjoyed it. It was interesting to hear her perspective on her life, where it's not like her movie Trainwreck was based on her life, but a lot of it is not really who she is. Like, going out and having one night stands and sleeping with all these different guys is like nowhere near close to who she is. It was, I guess, more about her personal life and her father and her relationship with her sister and her father and her mother, and that sort of thing was more closely what the movie was based on her life about, not really her personal dating life. But I found this book really good. I mean, she was funny, and I liked how she can make fun of herself, and it's just a really, really good book. I really enjoyed the audiobook. Amy Schumer does a really great job of reading it herself. I really enjoyed this. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This is the third and final book in the Remnant Chronicles series, and I love this series so much. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, of course. It was so good. I really liked how the book wrapped up. It was a bit long for my taste, but I feel like the reasons why it was long, it needed all that information in there. So I know for some people that it kind of dragged, but for me it was just so exciting because I love this series. I love fantasy, and I like seeing how authors put in information and then build on that later in the novel or later in the series. I thought that was really cool. If you've read this and you want to hear all of my spoilery thoughts, I did a live show with Chloe at the Brunette Bibliophile. We do a live show every single month for the Once Upon a Read Along, and we read this book this month, or last month, and we talked about it last week. So I will link that down below, or in the eye, wherever it is, I don't remember, if you guys are interested in watching that and seeing all of my thoughts. Then I read Girl in Pieces by Kathleen in Glasgow, and I really enjoyed this book. This is about a girl who self-mutilates. She cuts herself, and at the beginning of the book, she is in a psychiatric hospital because she attempted suicide. And I have a history with self-mutilation from the time that I was 12 to about 19 years old. I cut myself, and it's not something that I really like to discuss, obviously. Very dark time in my life. But I was really worried that this book would trigger me. I've never read a book about self-mutilation, so I figured that I would give it a try, and then if it triggered me, I would just obviously put it down. But it really made me thankful for the people in my life who supported me and who got me the help that I needed and who loved me and were there for me during that very bad time in my life, especially my father and my stepmother. They just really did everything they could to make sure that I had all of the help, medical and mental help that I needed. And our main character in this book definitely does not. Her mother abuses her, and her father's passed away, and she just really has nobody. She was homeless and raped, and just a very, very sad situation that she's in. but it was a good novel. The way that she's overcoming certain things and dealing with people who have other mental health issues, not just cutting, but drug addiction and other types of self-mutilation. That was another thing that I really liked about this book, and that it didn't, 80% of people self-mutilate by cutting, but there are still so many different types of self-mutilation out there, and I really liked that this gave a broad spectrum of the different types of self-mutilation there is. I really feel like it gave a good overall view of the world of self-mutilation and how it can affect someone and what you feel like when you are self-mutilating. It was just a very, very great book. If this is a topic that you are interested in, I think this did a really, really great job representing that this type of mental disorder, and I highly enjoyed it. Again, if you know somebody who self-mutilates, or if you've self-mutilated yourself, this is a huge trigger warning. It is all about self-mutilation. There is also rape in there. It's not very graphic, but it is there, and substance abuse, drugs, and alcohol, and hard drugs, and all those things. So tons of trigger warnings in this book, so just be wary going into it. And last but not least, I read Garnet's Story by Amy Ewing. This is a novella for the Lone City series. I really, really enjoyed The Jewel and The White Rose when I read it earlier this year. I read them back to back, and they were absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited for The Black Key to come out in October. I cannot wait for this book. I'm so excited, and I just love reading Garnet's Story. Today, I read it in like one sitting in a couple of hours. It's a very short novella, and I just ate it up, and I'm just so excited to get back into this world, and I really enjoyed this. If you're not familiar with this series, The Jewel is about, it is a dystopian where the girls or women of the lower class society are taken and trained to become surrogates for the upper class women. So they are trained to become, have the upper class women's babies. This is a really great dystopian for all of you dystopian lovers out there, or if you're trying to get back into the genre after you fell out of it because of the Hunger Games and Divergent and all that crazy stuff. This is a top-notch dystopian, and I really, really love reading this series. Alright guys, that is it for my mid-September wrap-up. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry for this weird angle thing. I'm hoping that I can get my camera fixed very, very soon, or at least get a new one. I don't know. We'll see. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!